Hey there, esteline.
Hey, all right, okay.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Listeners on
Good.
Anchor, this is my friend and worth hearing a piano accompanist, Esterline Lawrence, who I've known from being in the Cleveland Site Center Braille Notes for quite a number of years before I moved to West Virginia. but
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Great.
Yep. So she is a piano accompanist. She plays primarily gospel, whereas I will throw in gospel with maybe a slight bit of hip hop. I try not to do that, but but
Oh, that's all right.
but yeah. But so yeah, but I guess I want to say, how did you get your start on the piano? How did you learn? Who helped you learn?
I started taking piano lessons when I was 5 years old. My mother
Well,
was a teacher, so she started me. My father had a band,
hmm
so both of my parents were musicians. So everybody, all of my brothers and sisters, play some instrument. Didn't have to be piano, but I played piano because I was the youngest child. So I started with the piano, and I took piano lessons until I was well out of high school. All my years of school, and then in college, I have a bachelor of arts in music. Uh, that's on the pipe organ.
Whoa.
I most of my the music that I took through the years was on piano. But when I went to college, I took pipe organ. So that was
Wow.
my master.
That's cool. I guess you may have enjoyed, even with the pipe organ, you might have enjoyed hitting all those chimes and stuff when it was needed.
Oh yes, yes. I enjoyed every bit of it. I really did, all through the
Wow.
years. Yeah.
Wow, that
I've
was
been
good.
playing all of my life.
So, I guess my next question would be, you pretty much just answered my next question. Who inspires
Mhm.
you?
Well, uh, like I said, my parents both were musicians. My father was, uh, when he was in service years before, he led the band when he was in service. So I grew up with learning band is, uh,
Mhm.
there was always somebody at my house learning something, some instrument.
Ah.
So it was there. So I had to learn it because there it was. And I was the
Well.
youngest child. I was always the one I had to fit in. As the youngest, the rest of them say, "Well, you're too young to do this," but I was always one that said, "You can't outdo me. I'm going to get in there anyhow." Um, it was just that was really my motivation.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so in terms of musical artists, in terms of what you do, which is mainly gospel, and I love it
Mhm.
too. I love to give the Lord some praise. Which artist, even you might even enjoy some R&B. Who
Mhm. Oh,
what are
yeah.
what is your favorite? What is your favorite artist? Who influenced you as an artist in terms of piano
Uh,
or singing?
well, I guess all through the classics, because my music lessons were always classics. But I was always in church. My father was superintendent of Sunday school, so there was always a need for somebody to play for Sunday school. And I feel that purpose through the years. And then after I, grew up, I
Mm-hmm.
I learned to respect all kinds of music. It didn't matter what kind it was, but I loved to dance. So
Mm.
that was one thing. And then when I played in church, I played hymns and all those kinds of things. I learned all of the hymns and the classics at that time, but I also learned the gospel music because James Cleveland, all those were people like that. Shirley Caesar, those people were coming up at that time. So I was inspired in that way. Richard Smallwood, to me, was I loved his music, I guess. And in today's music, I kind of like to venture into Richard Smallwood. But I love everything. I've learned to admire whatever. Didn't matter. I could always fit in.
See, that's the thing about me. While I love gospel music, but I also like hip-hop music. And so it's weird to come home from church and then go straight into the hip-hop. But I'm like that.
And that's great. Yes.
Yeah.
Through the years, I've also learned that you have to change with the group of people that you're playing for.
Right.
I've played for older groups, hymn types, and then when I started playing for younger groups, I had to blend and learn whatever the latest things were. You had to learn to if you couldn't play them, you learned what they're all about. So that kind of helped me.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, for me, that's one of the beauties of me playing by ear, because I've learned a lot of stuff, and I'm still learning it.
Yes, that's right.
And it's awesome. So, would you say that even for you, because I know that I loved Stevie Wonder, that's my idol. Stevie Wonder is always going to be my idol.
Okay.
My second one before he died was Ray Charles.
Oh yeah. Oh well, of course. Yes. That's right. He was one of the great artists. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, indeed. So, okay.
Yeah.
You play primarily piano, but and I love to sing, but can you consider yourself a singer too, and when needed?
Absolutely only when I'm needed. I don't try to sing because I find that when I listen to music, I may hear the singer, but my focus is on the musician. I listen for the chords, and I find myself listening to the music first, and then I hear the singer. And that's not I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing, because I've never felt like I was a singer, so I never tried to do a lot with singing. I can help teach somebody how to sing, but I don't try to sing the solo. Yeah, I don't try to do the solo part. I will help somebody else get on the right track. I know when they're right, and I know when they're wrong, but I don't try to do it.
And apparently so did our pastor at our church. Even though he was technically learning to sing himself, that he just, as he listened at how things were, he was actually able to teach me some stuff and pass some of that around to me, and I'm still learning it. I'm still learning it, and I'm like, you know what? With this makes me a better singer than I was. So
that's right. Yeah, it will.
So I was like, because like I said, I've been so hard on myself. I always have been, and also too, I've always been so nervous too, which was so awkward. I was always so nervous. And singing, I'm not so nervous to sing in front of anyone, but I can never forget that incident at the Cleveland Science Center Braille Notes concert. I still can't forget that.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, I was embarrassed. I really was embarrassed. But yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Like I said,
I did not remember. I didn't remember the words. I got out my Braille sheet and everybody looked at me and I was like, oh, here we go. So yeah,
Yeah, well, when
I was
when you're
embarrassed.
singing,
I wanted to.
yeah, well, you were listening to maybe the whoever in the audience. You're thinking that they're looking and hearing what you're doing wrong, but probably half the people there
Right.
don't even pay attention to what you were doing. They weren't listening to your mistakes.
Right.
You were. You felt that you were making a mistake.
Right, and
but they were listening to
like
what
I
you
said,
were
at
singing.
the end of the concert, I went in the rec room, fellowshipped with everyone, but then after I went into the computer room, I was like, I didn't do too good, did I? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was what I was like.
Really, right, but it wasn't as bad as you thought. I was like, yeah.
Right. I was like, because like I said, did I? No, I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't. When I had the iPod, I wanted to record the concert. Or yes, I did.
Okay.
I did record it, but I had to erase it. That was how bad I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
But
yeah, you were hard on yourself. But it probably was.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as you thought. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like I said, because you were listening for your mistakes. The people were listening for your music. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. While I felt like I kind of had the song, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So because why else wouldn't I have grabbed my sheet if I didn't remember it? If I remembered it. So because by them actually looking at me and seeing me grab my sheet, they were like, you should remember this. You know this song. No, I don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't. Well, even with you at the piano, while you were even playing, you probably even looked down too, seeing it. But yeah.
But but I always tell my choir. Even tonight, we had rehearsal tonight, and we had in fact this past Sunday was Women's Day, so they sang some songs that were new, and but the one thing I told them they didn't stop. Because when you stop, you let the congregation know that you made a mistake. But if you don't stop, they may think that you're doing something different, Oh, wow, he's doing something different from the way it used to be. But it came through okay. And that was the way you
for me, yeah, that was what it was. But even when I went to church and sang for everyone, the pastor was standing by me the entire time, and I liked what he was doing, because what was happening was prayer was still going. The prayers at the altar was still going, and while I was thinking I was going to end the song, the pastor went on ahead and said he sang the rest of the song, and so by him doing that was telling me keep going because the prayer is still going. So yeah,
absolutely, keep going.
So,
yes.
Yeah, because the prayer was still going. Yeah, the prayer was still going, and they said once the prayers at the altars are done, then I can end it. Then I can end it. And so that was why the pastor encouraged me to keep doing what I was doing.
Absolutely.
And then, like I said, even with that was awesome the way that went. For me, I didn't really, and I have it in my memos. I didn't really listen at it myself. So, I haven't listened at it yet. I was going to, but then I got caught in other stuff, and I was going to listen.
Mhm.
But
Mhm. Mhm.
so yes, Anchor community. Just keep just to let you know, if you're gonna sing, sing. Don't stop.
That's
So
right. That's
yes.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Because
So
when you stop, it's a uh-oh. I mean, this is what they will say. Uh-oh. But if you
mhm.
keep going, they won't do that.
Mhm.
They won't do that
Right.
unless you stop. And in fact, when you stop, you're telling them, "Oh, I made a mistake." But keep
Right.
going. Like I say, they'll say, "Oh, I never heard it." I remember some years ago, a long time ago, I was playing
Mhm.
with
Right.
I don't remember exactly what it was for, but the
Mhm.
song. I don't even remember the name of the song, but I played it. And at one point,
Mhm.
I think I left out something. So I added something in there, which to me shouldn't have been there, but I added it in there. And when I got through this
Mhm.
one woman, she was one of our music teachers. And she said, Esther,
Mm.
you did that wonderfully. She said, I never heard it like that. Well, you know what?
Hmm.
I never thought of that before. She thought it was wonderful because I added something in there, but I only added it in there because I thought I had left something, and it turned out to be the right thing because I didn't stop. And
Right.
when I would have stopped, I would have told her in particular because when you got your old music teachers there, you want to do your best.
Mhm.
And when she
Right.
told me that, I thought, well, gee, that's one of the keys to a musician. Yeah, you keep going.
Right. Right.
Change the key.
And yeah, and that was kind of awesome though for me, because like I said, a little reminder happened at OSSB,
Mhm.
some years back, Ohio State School for the Blind.
Mhm.
For those that
Mhm.
aren't aware, that is the Ohio State School for the Blind. Um,
Yeah.
we were doing a song called "Si Vis Amore,"
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
that song, and when we got to the end of the song where we were saying "ama" twice,
Mhm.
when we got to the end of the song where it was supposed to go da 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 da, and what Mr. Kesey was one of our piano accompanists.
Okay.
Uh, Miss Agler was our music teacher, and so she was not the best piano accompanist. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But
Uh huh.
Mr. Kesey was. But then one of our students who was actually in the varsity choir,
Mhm.
as soon as Mr. Kesey did that little mistake, we were
Yeah.
like, huh? And
Uh huh.
Michael Alfrey, who was one of the students, he was like, hey, I like that little I like that
Mhm.
little thing you did at the end, where
Mhm.
it was technically a mistake, but it turned into
Mhm.
a good thing, and we liked it. And not only
Absolutely.
did we like it, so did they. So yeah,
Mhm. Mhm. That's right.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that was real awesome.
That's so these things
Yeah.
happen. I can remember. Let me see. What was her name? She was one of the jazz singers, and she was
Mhm.
saying that sometimes if she forgot the words, she would do the do 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 do. She would just start, and people liked it. But she said she did that
Mhm.
because she had forgotten the words. But because we think, the professionals don't make mistakes or they don't forget, and they do, but they do. But they know how to keep
Right.
going. Mhm.
Right. And that's the
Yeah.
thing that I got to learn. That's the thing that I got to
Yeah.
learn somebody requests if somebody requests even on here for me to
Uh
do
huh.
my song Angel Eyes, uh
Yeah.
to do it live. The
Right.
thing with me is the thing with me is I hear my own songs a million times and can't
Yeah.
even barely remember my own lyrics.
Mhm. 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 Yeah.
So
Right. But
I'm like, So I'm like, what did I say here? And then I listened at it again. And I'm like, what?
Oh wow!
I'm
But
like,
this is what
wow.
makes
But
variation. Yeah, this makes
yeah, it
variations in
does.
your
It's
music.
awesome.
Yeah, you do it the same way all the time. But when you have it, you do
Right.
something different. Hey, you can even add to it.
Mhm.
Boy, that's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
awesome. That was awesome. And like I said, if I do decide to, if somebody does request to for me to do Angel Eye Live, that's the problem I'm gonna face. Is I don't have
Mhm.
the proper money, and
Mhm.
the problem I'm gonna face is getting a band to actually learn all of my songs. That's the problem.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Takes
so
time. Rome wasn't built in a day.
right. And if I'm gonna
Yeah.
do, if somebody wants me to do Angel Eyes as my
Mhm.
last song, I think
Mhm.
I have an idea. I think I have an idea of what the band should do.
Mhm.
Just keep doing their little big
Okay.
finish. I want them to do a
Right.
whole lot of a big finish because
Mhm.
then I can take my bows a whole lot
Mhm.
easy.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I
And
can,
it'll work.
and it would be a
It'll
whole
work.
lot. Like, yes, it would be. Yeah, because
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna work.
long to be able to
Yeah.
while they're doing that. So yeah,
Uh huh. Oh yeah.
so
Well, all
yeah,
right.
it'll be awesome.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
One more
great.
question.
Okay.
Okay, okay. One more question. You said you have played the pipe organ before, but have you had any experience? Now, I think you know this question is probably going to come.
Mhm.
Have you had any experience with the Hammond B3?
I have one in my house.
Wow,
Yeah. Like I said, what
that
in college? In college, my major was the pipe organ.
okay,
Okay, but I have a Hammond organ in my house. I have a piano, a Hammond organ,
right,
and a piano. Mhm. So
okay,
yeah, I have the experience, but I prefer a piano. I guess because I've had so much training on the piano. But I have a Hammond
right,
organ in my house. Yeah. In fact, I have two organs.
and
I have one in the basement and one upstairs. But yeah.
honestly, like I said,
Mhm.
the Hammond B3 or the C3, such beautiful sounds to it. I would still
Uh huh.
love to learn it.
Uh huh.
I would
Uh
still
huh.
love to learn it. And here in the state of West Virginia, I have not found that niche. I have not found somebody to teach
Hmm.
me the Hammond organ because
Oh.
we haven't been able to really find that.
Uh huh. Hmm.
So, and
Well,
at a
my
reasonable price, and
yeah,
at a reasonable price. So,
my experience with the Hammond organ, I guess, uh,
uh huh.
uh, so many people that the people that I know that play it and play it well
Hmm.
just learned
Right.
how to do it themselves. They didn't have a teacher.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
now, like I said,
Well, then it's probably a.
with the pipe organ, I had to have a teacher, you know, to teach me all those
Hmm.
things. But with the Hammond organ,
Well.
the one that I have anyway, um, and I
Mhm.
know, Mary. Did you know Miss Dews? Mary Dews.
No, I
She was
didn't
the
come in that
organist.
time. No.
Oh, she was the organist. For the Braille notes. Now she went to this.
Hmm.
Let's see. She was raised up in outside Dayton. I forgot the name of the town, but she went to a school
Mhm.
for the blind, and that's how she learned. She learned how to play the organ at the school that she was going to. I don't know. Well, I know she read. She was a reader, but she knew that there wasn't that much music, for sheet music, that she could go by. So she, she just learned just by learning.
Well, I think basically for me, as far as a Hammond organ would be concerned, for me, I think there are two things that I just need to learn because I know the basic keyboard skills.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing I need to learn is the drawbars and the pedals.
Yeah.
Those are, I think, the only two things I need to learn.
Oh,
That's basically
okay.
it. The drawbars and the pedals and maybe a little bit of that percussive element. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know that there are teachers for that because I have a book for training with the Hammond organ.
Right.
There again, especially in playing gospel music, a lot of it was by ear and what you hear and all this. But it does tell you the manual does explain what the pedals are for, what the drawbars are for, and everything about the organ, so that I know that there is information about it.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's just a matter of trying to find somebody
teacher
that would. I mean, I could learn it. The problem I think I'm going to find is I think I could learn it because I have the basic keyboard skills. I do.
That's right, you do.
I know the basic keys and I can do some stuff. I just need to learn them other three things: the percussive elements, the pedals, and the drawbars. So
right. The training that I had with the pipe with the pipe organ, you had to learn the foot pedals and what they were for, and how to use them. And I just transferred that along with pulling the drawbars. And like I said, the book that I have, it is a manual that tells you what the drawbars are for and which keyboard they work with. But the foot pedals and all of that, I learned from the pipe organ training. And of course, I had to take classical music for that. So I know that. But and like I said, you have the skills. With the keyboards, the great. Both keyboards that you use. You know how to use those.
Yes.
So it would.
I do.
I don't know. Is there anybody down there that plays? Is there a pipe organist or a classical organist that is close that you know about?
I am
is there
doubting it.
Is there a Presbyterian church, Lutheran church, Episcopal church? Usually they have classical
there's
probably
there's probably some around. Yeah, the Catholic churches. There's probably there. You know what? I was hearing the bell towers around past our church. I think there is one, and I know that. And I know that here. Up this way, just down the hill, is Emmanuel Baptist.
Even a Methodist church. A lot of the Methodists do a church that plays anthems.
Right.
They would have to know.
Because I was looking at them. Because Emmanuel Baptist, and I was thinking about, because we've seen them stop by to do stuff. But but they are like literally right down at the bottom of the hill at our house. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, you could even
So
ask if the organist at that church, those kinds of churches, they have the classical trained musicians, and even though they may or may not be playing a Hammond organ, they would have
right,
enough information that you would be able to gain a lot
right.
from them.
Because like I said,
That's
I know the piano, I know the keyboard, and I'm just ready to go a lot more advanced.
right.
My I
Uh-huh.
have I have two different dreams. One
Well.
dream is to be a singer. The other
Mhm.
dream is to be some type of other musician, such as a Hammond organist or something. Maybe even
Mhm.
a drummer. I'm showing, you know, from what I'm hearing, even with when I'm doing stuff in music memos, I'm showing
Mhm.
that I'm having an interest in drum styles.
Mhm. Mhm. Well,
I
percussion
love the
goes
drums. I
along
really
with
want to learn that too.
the percussion goes along with the piano and the organ. You know, piano is a
Right,
percussion type instrument because
right,
yeah, that's a percussion. So the
yeah,
percussionist,
and I
the
realize that.
yeah, some of your best uh, uh, pianists I know. I used to play drums,
Hmm.
and the percussion
Hmm.
instrument. Yeah,
Yeah, well, there's
I can.
still, you know, I learned the piano before I got to the drum. Well, I can play drums, but I just basically had the basic skills for drums.
That's right.
But if I really wanted to learn
Mhm.
if I really wanted to learn a whole set, then I really do need to learn that whole set,
Mhm.
plus learning how to do an actual roll. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. All of that goes together.
So yeah.
But like I said,
Right.
if there is if there's a church that you know of where they play anthems regularly.
Right.
See,
Mhm.
I'm Methodist. I'm a member of St. John
Right.
AME Church, and they play
Mhm.
anthems all the time. But they play anthems and they play a variety of music.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of the Methodist churches
Wow.
there's a variety, but if they play those not just gospel music, I just
Mhm.
happen to like music because I like the rhythm. Um,
Right.
but yeah, but that goes along with all of that, you know. If you
Right.
get in, if you can even uh, someone that can get you onto the organ,
Mhm.
um, you would. I mean, you would be easy to go to, fall right into that. Was not a problem.
Right.
Mhm.
And what's easy enough for this is because I've listened to a lot of classical music,
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
think
Mhm.
a lot of us seem to, a lot of us seem to like Beethoven more than everybody else. So you know,
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
we we seem
Mhm.
to like Beethoven a lot more than anybody else. So you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
I like
Beethoven.
Bach.
Yeah.
I like Bach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
like Bach.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of Brahms, but I just
Right.
Beethoven is
Beethoven.
Mozart and Beethoven just kind of yeah,
Yeah. They play more
they're
romantic
just
types.
cooler. Yeah,
Uh-huh. They were
yeah,
along in the romantic season. Right.
right.
And that's what.
So,
Yeah.
but I did like Beethoven too. I like Beethoven. I like Mozart. The one
Mhm.
song that keeps getting me every time, the one song that keeps getting me, and I had this on my older Yamaha. This was my older Yamaha. The
Mhm.
one song that keeps getting me, Rondo alla Turca, is one of the hardest songs to do.
Mhm. 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 Well, a ronda is a kind
So
of a
is
type
the
of dance. Uh-huh.
yeah, it's a fast dance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a dance.
Yeah, because and then the normal and then the normal the normal what is it? The Turkish march. What is it? That song. That one was on my keyboard. Let me tell you the my older keyboard. Let me tell you a little bit of the order. It went Beethoven's. As far as the classical music stuff, it went Beethoven's For Elise.
Oh yeah.
Bach's Minuet and G. Yeah, it went that, and then it went to Bach's Minuet and G. Then it did Mozart's Rondo alla Turca. Okay. Then Mozart's Turkish March, although I think that was clearly Beethoven. I'm not entirely sure. And then it went into two Chopins. One was the Minute Waltz, and the other one was I don't know it exactly, but it's the da 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 da. Oh yeah. Da da da. It was so beautiful. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, that was so beautiful. And then it went back into Bach, doing A Man's Desiring. Da 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 da. Then it went back into Beethoven for Ode to Joy. Yeah. Yeah. Then it went back into Beethoven for Ode to Joy, but then it went into this one. Da 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 da. And I don't know who that even is.
Oh wow! Yeah. Jeez.
I don't even know who that is. And then it went.
I've forgotten all that stuff. Jeez. Those were piano lessons.
Because that last one. Yeah, and that last one, that other one. Da, 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 da. I was like, what the heck? It's so weird.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I don't even know who. Again, I don't even know who that even is.
Yeah. That's
it's so
right.
weird.
Yeah.
And then it went into. Then it went into da 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 da. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Okay.
And then there was Pachelbel's, yeah. And then it was Pachelbel's Canon. Canon. But my keyboard, my older Yamaha, it had it in C instead of D. So.
Oh, okay.
It had it in C. And I was like, this is awkward. I'm so used to D. Yeah. That I've never heard it done in C. So.
Well, all right.
And then it had the air G string or whatever it was from Bach.
Okay.
That da 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 da. I'm doing it in C because that was how my keyboard had it. But yeah, that was technically in D as well. But
wow.
And yeah, it was so awkward with some of those classical songs that I actually learned another one by Chopin thanks to a Casio keyboard, but it had it in C.
Okay.
And the song was Grand Das Berland by Chopin, Opus 18. And I liked it. It was so beautiful. There were a lot of great songs by Chopin, and actually I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this, that when I looked at the background music here on Anchor, one of the Chopin nocturnes is on here. I didn't realize that. So when I looked everything up on YouTube, I was like, wow. I didn't realize they were taking the Chopin nocturne, and I was like, what? I was like, that's nocturne in C minor. That's that one.
Yeah.
I found it. So yeah.
So many of those songs, especially the ones in these keyboards, the ones that are in the keyboard themselves. Those I listen to those and I think, oh my God, those are my old music lessons. Yeah. I tell you,
and
so
then
that's great.
you think when you go and do the, and then when you think when you want to actually experiment and do one of the uh, lessons on the keyboard itself,
Yeah.
especially when you go into wait mode. For me,
Mhm.
me and the Maple Leaf Rag on wait mode do
Oh
not mix.
yeah.
You want to know why? You want to know why?
Uh-huh.
Because first of all, on wait mode, Mr. Yamaha is going a little bit too quicker than I. Because when I think I'm hitting him, I'm like, I can't hit him when he wants it. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Wow. But that's
So I'm like,
fascinating. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to freeze until I hit you when I can. So yeah, you know.
Oh
And that was
wow.
exactly what it did. When it goes on the when it's on the piano style, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, you're just stuck. Let me see if I can find
Yeah.
you. You're stuck. Where are you? There you are. And then I find it, and then I'm like, yeah, you know.
Oh
But I do that
wow.
a lot. I do that a lot. I do that a lot on Elvis's "I Can't Help Falling in Love with You," which is
Oh.
on my one keyboard that I have here. It's on my one keyboard
Oh, okay.
that I have here.
Mhm.
And I do wait mode on that one because it is so easy to do that one because, like I said, it's just a counter melody. And
Mm.
like I said too, if I ever have some weird emergencies, like if I have to use the bathroom or something, I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna freeze right there till I come back. I'm not, I'm not pausing you. I'm just gonna let you hold that note right
Oh.
there because I'll be
Boy.
back. And it's the trumpet style. It's the
Mhm.
trumpet style that's doing the melody. So yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wow.
I'm like, I'm like, uh, Herb Albert, I'm gonna have you hold that
Oh,
C, and I'll be back.
okay.
And that's what I was like. That was what I was like.
Oh, wow. This is fascinating.
And then I come back and I'm like, yeah. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, you're still doing it. Thank you. Now I know where I'll be. Now I know where I'll be, and I can start from there. So yeah, you know.
That's right.
So yeah,
Oh, boy.
because you because you're like, I only can do this when I'm by myself.
Mhm.
And here's the reason
Mhm.
why. Because to most people, if they want to hear a note hold with that vibrato for so
Mhm.
long, it can be very annoying to them.
Oh, yeah.
It can be very annoying to them,
That's
especially
right.
my grandparents. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, I am going to wait. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to wait until I'm at least by myself to do this. So yeah, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
And if they
right.
come back while I'm in the bathroom, I'm gonna be like, oh Lord, they're back.
Mm.
I didn't think they would be coming back. So yeah, you know.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of times here, when I do want to do a lot of practicing, I do it when I'm home alone
Mhm.
because
Right.
somebody else will, they get tired of it. Oh my goodness, how long? And
Right.
the practice, it can go on and
Mhm.
on. Mhm. Yeah, that's for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Right. Because it's just, I mean, it's just awesome. It's
Uh-huh.
so awesome that I don't know. And I like, I like notes of and instruments of sustaining quality, especially on that keyboard.
Mhm.
Why? Because then, like I said, I can do what I can do, and
Mhm. Mhm.
especially on one of the songs, "Old Folks at Home," the background strings, Yamaha has
Oh.
arranged that song so beautifully, and I mean,
Hmm. Mhm.
Yamaha has arranged that song so beautifully enough, and while I'm not by my keyboard yet, and while I'm not by my keyboard right now, on YouTube, somebody had a higher end keyboard and was able to put it through their little recording thing or whatever it was, and then put it up on YouTube. And I was like, this is awesome. So,
Oh, yeah. Wow.
that was just, that was awesome. I was like, I listened at everything, and I was like, wait a minute, there's something familiar about that style on the demo. And I was like, aha. So, there was something familiar about some of the styles on the demo. I looked at, okay, let me see if the Hallelujah chorus is the same thing that they had. And I looked at it, I listened at it, I was like, yes, it is. So,
Yeah, wow.
And I'll say this on my keyboard. I'm going to say this while I have somewhat of some imaginary friends. So on my keyboard, as I listen at the demos, because that Yamaha sounds like I have a whole band, and so I picture my Lawrences. I picture my Lawrences and Jacksons doing all of the instruments on the keyboard because they can do a lot of stuff.
How about that? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is something.
And whatever keyboard, I think that same keyboard that somebody had on YouTube is the same keyboard that we have at our church. And like I said, when I go into the percussion, I took a look at I tested one of the keys and hit the drum roll.
Oh.
And while on my one Yamaha that I have here, my drum roll can go as long as 2 per what is it? 2 or 3 minutes, I think it is, before fading all the way out.
Oh.
Because as that drum roll's going, it's just fading out. It's just fading out. But on that other keyboard at the church, I'm like, I like this. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah.
I was like, this was a sustaining drum roll, which was actually what I really wanted. So,
Wow.
And I was like, okay, if I really wanted to, I could really get the preacher in with a sustaining drum roll if I really wanted to. But
Well, sure, yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
But I can't do that because of the drum roll being as soft as it was. So I'm picking one of the organ styles. So
Wow.
And so that was a whole lot easier. That I was actually able to do it, and I was like, this is awesome.
Well, the more every once in a while, try something, just small, and see how it goes through. You'll be surprised. It might work for you, and it'll be something different, but not even what you thought it might be. It might be even better.
Right. Yeah, and the pastor of our church said he was looking for a really, really good drummer, and we haven't found that said drummer yet. He's found a good pianist, but he hasn't found a drummer yet. So,
Well, you just might every once in a while try that percussion and just put it in, a little bit and see if it works. You might have something there.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to see what I want to do. I might throw it in if somebody wants to do a gospel rap or something, but it doesn't fit our ministry right now. So that's why I haven't really did the percussion.
Oh yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, try it. When you're by your, before the rest of before somebody else is in there, and listen to it and see if it might fit one of the songs that just a a simple song. Put it in there and see if
Right.
it might fit. Mhm. And it might fit, when
Yeah,
you're
but
by yourself.
here's where
Put
my
it in there.
yeah. Yeah, well, here's where my problem lies with that.
Mhm.
While I know what key the song is actually in to sing it,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then just throw the percussion in there, I was like,
Mhm.
something is something is just missing.
Oh yeah.
But I know next week. Yeah, but I know next week I know what I want to do. I know what I want to
Mhm.
do next this coming Sunday, which is technically first Sunday.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I am, yeah. So I'm not sure if he's gonna do communion or not. I'm not gonna throw the
Mhm.
percussion in there either. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
I'm still gonna
Oh
do a little
no.
soft piano with
Right.
yeah
Mhm.
with
That's right.
communion. And if
Right.
I'm doing communion with them, if I'm doing communion with them, I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah.
anything soft.
Oh
It'll
no,
have to
not
be
no, not with
silenced for a while if I'm doing it with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
not with communion.
Yeah.
That's the
So
reason I'm saying if you're by
yeah.
yourself, it just kind of see if hit a couple of maybe just a little of it, just to see how it sounds,
Mhm.
or whether it's
Right.
what you want to hear. It may not be what you want to hear.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And
Yeah.
but like I said, I've learned enough stuff. I think I will revisit my little audio stuff.
Mhm.
I will revisit my little audio stuff and just make sure I'm learning what I have learned. And actually, like I said, if when you go and listen at this and you hear the end
Mhm.
of this,
Mhm. Mhm.
you will see how good of a job I did because the pastor said I did do a good job when the end of the service was coming around. And
Mm. Mhm. Right.
he did. He
Yeah.
said that. He did say that. And actually, did I record that? No, I stopped it before we had to go because I had to get ready to put my iPad in the bag and everything. So I had to stop it then. But yeah,
Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. Well, you're
because otherwise,
really coming
yeah,
along.
because otherwise, if I was going to, yeah, otherwise, if I was recording and I put it in the bag, guess what it's going to sound like?
Mhm.
It's going to
Mhm.
sound recovered. It's going to sound
Uh huh.
unrecovered.
Uh huh.
So
Right.
that's why I had to stop. If I was, it wasn't gonna. But yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Oh.
This is actually,
Mhm.
I might make I might make this a part of my show. I might feature you on one of my shows here on Anchor. I might want to do that.
Oh my.
Giving musical advice.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I might I
Okay.
might do that. I might want to do that. Do you want to?
Oh, it doesn't matter. What if there's a
Yeah.
use for it? Yes, because whatever I learn, if
Yeah,
I can teach you, pass it on to somebody else, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I'm gonna make
Yeah.
this I'm gonna make that a podcast. That's gonna be two podcasts I'm gonna be doing here. So yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right.
It'll probably be a short podcast unless you have a lot more advice to give. But yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, just whatever you need. That would be fine. That would be great. That would be
Yeah, I
wonderful.
can do that. I can really do that. I can really do that. I can use you here, and I think the
Okay.
Anchor community would really like this. I really think they
All
would really like
right.
this.
Very
So
good.
yes, listeners,
Okay.
give this an applause. Give this an applause. I really think you're gonna like this. So yeah,
Okay.
I am going to go on ahead. So I am going to go on ahead and let you go now. And I think
Okay.
because this is awesome. This is
All right.
yeah, this is
Yeah, if you
awesome.
can
So
use
yeah,
it,
and
that's
hopefully we'll
wonderful.
yeah yeah, and I think I want to start it. I want to start it next week, but we're only going to do this when you're available. We're not going to do it when you're vacationing. We're not going to do it when you're out of town. We're just going to be
Mhm.
doing it when you're available. And
Okay.
I will
All
always
right.
keep checking that. And here's the reason why I will always keep checking that, especially on Sundays when I call you to tell you that I
Oh
sang out.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, 'cause Sunday, so many Sundays we'll have, Sunday schools and then service, and then we'll have an afternoon service. So that so many times that's what happens. But that'll be good. That'll work. Yeah, whenever I have the chance, just whenever, whatever you need.
Yeah,
Wonderful. I'll be
it's
glad to
probably gonna be on Tuesdays.
Oh,
Probably gonna
okay.
be on Tuesdays, unless
Okay.
I go to the dentist and I'm in pain.
All right.
But probably, even though I'm in pain, I'm probably still gonna do it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna suffer through it.
All right
So
then.
yeah.
Okay.
All righty then.
Well, okay, so you take
All right.
care.
Yeah, I will talk to you. You do the
All right
same.
now.
I will publish this and I will put this into my podcast. All right.
All right now. Take care. All right. Bye bye.
Bye. All right.